Entrepreneurial Edge is brought to you by Business Banking from FNB, because small ideas can lead to big business. FNB, how can we help you?
Welcome back to the Entrepreneurial Edge. If you have any comments or suggestions on the show, please send me an email entrep@abn360.com. Still with me in studio is Marna van der Walt, CEO at JHI Properties. Marna, that's JHI. Let's get into Marna when she's not at JHI. Where did your business and entrepreneurial story begin?
I think I came out of a house where my father then worked for business and then worked for himself, and I saw both sides. And although I wanted financial stability and security when I started working, and I think that's also part of why, I mean, chartered accountant, that's like mature, that's grown up, why I had to do that. Eventually I realized, but I can do more. I want to start trying to sell things and to build things as well. And at a very young age, I got the opportunity, I think I was about 35, to take the JHI Property Services and part of Sanlam Properties into basically a private independent environment. And I just jumped. I actually had to start with a 3-year temporary contract. They didn't trust that I'll get it right, and I had no relationships in the industry. And that's what I love, to take a little bit of risk and to actually grow things.
Now, how do you go from a numbers person, because we know accountants love that, to someone who has a passion for the property sector?
With hindsight, and I don't think it would have been good for me, I should have studied art. I actually think I'm more of an artist than an accountant. And I think that's that part of that creativity that I can now use in building the company.
Now, as I mentioned in the intro, you've won quite a few business awards over the past few years. How important are these types of accolades for you?
I wouldn't be unrealistic to say it's not important at all. Of course, you feel flattered when you do it. You feel proud that you can do it for your company as well, because we had to establish the company. So you feel proud for the team and for the company that you can do it, but it doesn't define me. Me, Marna, with my camera out in the bush and my children next to me, that's who I am. And one day when I have the freedom just to do that, and there's no loyalty pulling me back to a company, I'm okay with that. I'm fine. I can't wait.
Do you see yourself as a role model? Do you hope to be a role model?
I wish I can be one, but not a conventional one. I'll struggle to fit into the black suit and say always just the proper things. I'm more. There's more to me than just the businesswoman.
Well, the businesswoman is also a member of SAPOA, the South African Property Owners Association, and also the Property Charter Council. Now, this is a large side to do with the ethics involved with the business, and we've seen the property sector come under scrutiny time and time again over the last few years, whether it be residential, commercial. How important is ethics for you as a person and as a business leader?
To me, it's not negotiable. Integrity is a not negotiable value, and our company is run that way as well. And that means you must say what you think, and you must do what you say. It's as simple as that, within a framework of good corporate governance. I think it's a little bit of the Sanlam that's still sticking with us. I also think I'm quite religious, and I have to carry that forward. It's just that's part of me.
And of course, you want to inspire your team to do the same. What is your leadership style?
Very much inclusive and consultative. We tackle problems together, we hunt as a pack, and the solution of a group of people is always better than just one individual's input.
Now, your business has a lot to do with clients, and it's client-facing. How do you ensure that you hire, grow and nurture the right talent to work in your business, to deal with your clients every day?
Firstly, we look for common value systems. So our values is about integrity, focused, involved, and once we find those people, also progressive, thinking out of the box, we look for potential. So people that's got dreams, that needs an environment where they can actually develop like a butterfly, their wings, and that can fly. I don't like rules. We don't have rules. We only have a set of values that set the boundaries, and within that we would love you to grow and to fly and to find your own path.
I'd love to work for a company without rules. What about talent retention? So you've spent all this time, money and effort to grow these butterflies. How do you keep them within the JHI group?
By listening to their dreams and aspiration and creating the path for them to live it.
Now, education is a big part of the business arena in South Africa and on the continent as well. We have a serious lack of education from a primary level straight through. How do you feel about educational initiatives specifically catered for the property sector in developing and nurturing new property analysts, retail sellers, managers such as yourself?
Okay. I first want to start off by saying to young people that education is a true equalizer. That once you got the education and you put the hard work behind it, there's nothing holding you back. So my first advice to anybody always is get the highest possible qualification you can actually get and never stop learning. Then in the industry, I'm very involved in education. It's a big passion of me. I used to chair the education committee of SAPOA for a long time. I'm on the bursary trust of SAPOA, and we're very proud as JHI to have started Godisa Training Academy as well. We're currently qualified provider for NQF 4 in the property industry with the services CETA, and we've applied now to do NQF 5 as well. In there, we bring in learners. We've just got services CETA's approval to bring in 34 learners, and that is learners and interns. So some of them with degrees, some of them just with matric. And then we develop them, and we've actually gone to our client base now to say, come on, sponsor some of these students, and then you can get them for future employment. So we'll train them and pass them on into the industry. And no problem doing it. I love giving people a chance to get into the property industry that actually was sitting at home previously.
Are you looking to procure some of those talent for your own company?
Of course. They would love to stay. Of course. We've got a lot of good history with interns and learners where they're actively involved in our business and doing quite well.
Now, besides education, you mentioned that you have a passion for photography. Let's talk about entrepreneurship. How important is it? Do you foster a sense of entrepreneurial spirit amongst your own employees?
Definitely. We start with a cluster level. That's where you've got a few buildings attached to a team of staff. That's the beginning of our structures, up to where a director runs a business. Each of these has got their own budget and their own decision-making power and the freedom to operate it and the responsibility to grow it. And I think that's what entrepreneurship is actually about. It's about growing, taking responsibility for something and then growing it.
Are entrepreneurs born or made?
Both, I think. I think you have to have the creativity, the drive, the dreams, and you have to have a nurturing environment, and then magic again happens.
Do you think we have a nurturing environment in South Africa? Is being enough done to foster entrepreneurial talent?
No, I think we can do much more. I think there's so many opportunities, so many people out there with dreams. We need to create a platform where they can share those dreams and then find the financial backing for it.
Some experts believe that entrepreneurial activity should be fostered from a school level
yes, and I know it's happening. Being a mother and very involved in the school, there's a lot of entrepreneur days at schools. But that's actually where the mothers live their dreams. But we need to get it to where the children lives it. And I also don't think it's as cut, it's like as white and black as what we make it. Some say take all the risk, don't apply caution and just start up a business. I think it's possible to be an entrepreneur in a corporate as well. And with leverage buyouts and management buyouts, just create quite an entrepreneurial environment where you can grow. There's not only one route to an entrepreneurial outcome.
Now, when you're not at JHI, what do you do? What do you enjoy doing besides photography and spending time with your children?
I love interior decorating. I love telling people how to do gardening. I love having a beautiful garden. I'm involved at my children's school as well, on the governing body, because I believe in balance. So you must put, as much as you put into work, you must put in all facets. So it makes me quite tired. I've got a very good and loyal circle of friends, and I love spending time with them and socializing as well.
An absolute workaholic at home and at work.
No comment.
But Marna, what are the future plans for JHI on the short and the long term?
Short term is to hold our hands of our clients and to make sure that we go safely out of this recession, and the portfolios and the properties we look after, we do as much as possible for. Longer term is to build out those strategic relationships to a real value add, to grow the services of JHI, potentially find an international partner, to take the JHI platform to the countries in Africa, and to make sure that everywhere we go, the same quality of service is delivered.
And the future for Marna, what lies ahead the day you decide to hang up your hat, so to speak?
at least another 7 to 10 years with JHI and the bigger JHI group, because we're building a lot of additional services in there, like the Accelerate Facility Management. We've got a link to SteriClean, which is a cleaning company as well now, looking to put security with that. So a lot of other opportunities as well. And then for me, Marna, when I stop, I buy a Unimog and I travel through Africa, because my soul comes from there. I can't wait to take my camera on my Unimog and just disappear.
And maybe do a little book, a little photo book.
Maybe.
Fantastic. We look forward to seeing if you ever do that.
Yeah.
Marna, thank you very much. That's all we have time for this week. Be sure to tune in again next week for another episode of the Entrepreneurial Edge. Until then, from me, Natasha Jacobs, it's goodbye.